Use this lady from reality TV Teen Mom as a case study. So this woman has continually, since she was a teenager, she's had always had a relationship with an abusive man, whether it was psychological, physical, whatever, and she'd always have a child. So she has three children from three different men, all abusive. But this last one takes the cake. He even shot her dog, a small French poodle, claiming it was aggressive. So at one point, we have hope. This is a new channel she has, Addicted to Growth. The name I wrote is a sort of oxymoron because growth is not an addiction. Addiction is the opposite of growth. But anyway, this is not the only oxymoron. As you can see, at first we are hopeful, and I was like, wow, Janelle, good for you. You finally realized the man is a psychopath after he shot your dog. But listen to what's happening here. And she took her mom.
Everything went down, finally beat that case, got over it. And even though David took anger management classes, we still were not getting along. We kept getting into arguments. We kept bickering with each other. We were very loud towards
Okay.
each other in front of the kids. And I'm not afraid to admit that because we have grown a lot since then. Before the end of October, I ended up going to New York City. And I took this trip to actually meet up with an agency that contacted me and wanted to meet me. And they said that
So listen to her talking.
series.
So she keeps
See you tomorrow,
that's her mom. And as long as her mom was by her side, she was strong.
Got to be with her all the time, and it's like that's not her.
Well, and I told her, I was like, even if I want to have like a girls' night, I can't do it, you know. And if I tell him to go hang out with his friends, it's I don't want to. I just want you. And that's what's so irritating because we should have a healthy time apart because
Exactly.
we've been up each other's ass since 2015, and like it's time.
In 6 years, she's had so many videos. I think one video had her calling 911 like 30 times.
And he ruined it so bad. It's like I can't even work now, and I want to pursue the goals I have, and it's always holding me back because of his attitude, him not changing. So
This is a calm Janelle. This is the only Janelle I know. And this is a very different Janelle than you see when it's Janelle and David.
Yeah.
And so I would like to believe this is who we all get. Like your kids are going to get this. Your mother's going to get this.
and especially because sometimes we would just go out on family vacation, and he'd be the only one with a sour attitude, and even all the kids would be good, and I would be happy. And then I look at him, I'm like, just why are you having this attitude?
So
I'm
you
just
think
sick of being around like the negativity, and I just want everyone to be happy when we go on vacation. Or
you think that you reached the conclusion that she should terminate this relationship. But listen what she says at the end, which was really for me predictable yet shocking.
rooms in the middle, and then 2 bedrooms on the sides. But having 3 kids and hotel rooms is very, very hard and frustrating.
It
And
is
they're very
hard to be a
loud.
single mom
So
with 3
it's like I
kids.
try to keep them as quiet as I can, but that's almost impossible. But you know, I got through it, and my mom, she ended up leaving eventually, and she went back to North Carolina with Jace because Jace, has school in North Carolina. So then I was left alone, and I had to deal with it all on my own. And why were things so bad to where I ended up leaving? Like I said, David had a very bad attitude, and once he would say something, I would say something back, and then it would just escalate and blow up, and nothing would stay at a normal level at that time. But I'm glad that we got through that rough patch because it actually really opened my eyes to a lot. How to have more patience, control my temper if someone else is angry, and same with him. He can control his temper if I get a little snappy. And I feel like that was beneficial in a way to go through.
So did you listen to this? At first she says she realized that he has a bad attitude, he's toxic. Then towards the end she says, well, he says one thing, he can control it. Well, he's proven himself again and again. A man who shoots a dog, a family dog, is not a man who can control things. So this is denial. If you want a case of how women deny, she admits, yes, it is difficult for me. I'm not reaching my goals. She got fired from Teen Moms because of the violence, and she lost her job. She's in this spiral because what these kind of men do is they drag you into their drama. It's sort of, I don't know what exactly his diagnosis is, whether it's narcissistic personality disorder or whatever, but these kind of people are energy, they take away your energy and then you're not able to function. But she has 3 kids now and she's sort of stuck with him. But she says it's been like that since 2015, 6 years later, and she's still thinking that it's her fault. And if she can learn to control herself, he'll learn to control him. So let me get to something that is very, very disturbing on the news today. So I was just opening the news because it's Saturday night. It's the beginning of the week, and this horrible news headlines that I wish that Janelle will not ever make these headlines, but all signs are there. So these are signs for domestic violence. So this woman was married to a police officer. She's 32 years old, 4 children, and her 7-year-old daughter told was saying the parents had an argument. The mother asked the 4 kids to go upstairs, and then she went downstairs and she saw the mother lying on the floor. So she heard shots and the mother was on the floor, said the 7-year-old daughter of Diana Raz, who was murdered 24 hours ago. She said the parents argued. The man he was a police officer. Look at this lovely woman. Nothing, not a sign even. Just had an argument, took out his shotgun and killed her. And what is worse, this woman worked as a therapist for couple therapy. And she helped women get out of violent relationships. And she talked about the signs. And this is how she ended up. This is a couples therapist, Diana Raz. May she rest in peace. Zichronah livracha. This is in front of her house now. These are memorial candles. This is the picture of her. The husband admitted, and another woman that worked with Diana said that. Sorry, the cat is Sam. Cat is seeking attention. So this is her name. Another woman worked with her. People all talked about what a nice, kind person she is. And a similar case like this we had in Israel when a social worker was murdered by her boyfriend. But this guy is a police officer that people described as, his colleagues said, he was very calm. He was a very calm police officer, and he didn't work with Sam, please. Sam doesn't want me to do this. Sam, it's not only about you. So this police officer was working as what I understood, he's not working with violent criminals especially. He was like a sort of, I don't know how you say it in English. He's the one who goes around in neighborhoods making sure everything is fine. He's not in drugs. He's not in particularly violent crimes. And he just took his shotgun and shot his beautiful wife, mother of 4 children. And just a few months ago, Diana made a live broadcast in a training session that dealt with the murder of another woman in Israel called Michal Sela, a social worker, and she talked how to identify a normal partnership, and she talked about women that are in a violent partnership. And the neighbors said they never heard anything violent. And she was the guru of partnerships, of relationship therapists. She helped women find relationships and leave violent relationships. And she spoke and she said, I have a wonderful husband. And she said she always told people what a wonderful husband she has. So another woman whose sister Michal was murdered by her partner said, in the average, every 2 weeks, a woman is murdered in Israel. Diana Raz was a consultant of a relationship, and he's a police officer who shot her with a pistol. We also had another case of a police officer. It says the prime minister has to have some sort of they have to convene an emergency session. According to what they suspect, the husband shot her the time the children were at home. And he first called his mother and asked her to take the children. Afterwards, he called his commandment afterwards to report it, and he admitted it. And I just don't understand. And there's a phone number here, there for emergency number. But what's really horrible is that she said, I have a wonderful husband. So this is a woman who didn't experience violence, and just boom, 2 minutes, and um, the woman is dead. And I can't even imagine what trauma it is for the children. So I want to say one thing, and this is what she said. This is what she said at one point. I help a lot of women get out of fear and blocks and attract the ideal man without compromise, to get out of a poor, abusive relationship and to get into a healthy and happy relationship. On Facebook, she wrote, all my education, my training, I put into use in my own personal life. And today I'm married to a wonderful, amazing man and a mother of a child. So I don't know what her background was, if she had previous relationships. I do not know if this was her second marriage. I will find out if you want. But she said, I'm married to an ideal man. So if this can happen to her, it can happen to anybody. So once again, I want to remind people to go and to watch Janelle video, because it's very, very telling. And this is the memorial candles for this beautiful woman. And I want to remind people, sometimes you don't see the signs, or sometimes you're in denial. And I suspect this wonderful woman maybe could have seen and been there for others, but sometimes people that are a lot of empathy and are really helpful for other people forget to take care of themselves. And I think denial is the key word here. Women that suspect something's wrong with their marriage have to work on taking apart this denial. If you don't feel comfortable in your own home, if you feel you have to walk on eggshells, if there's something, even a small thing, that makes you feel like you cannot talk, you cannot say anything, that you're afraid, talk to someone, talk to a hotline. First of all, a hotline, talk to anyone. But just realize that it's better to talk to a professional person, because professional people are trained to help others. Maybe she helped a lot of women, but she couldn't help herself. And this is a typical personality of an empath. They can help other people, but they have a difficult time sometimes with themselves, and they often attract men that have a problem. It's like a magnet. I can't explain it, but I feel also that I've attracted many, well, not many, but quite a few men that had a difficult time with their emotions, that had a difficult time expressing their emotions, and a difficult time giving affection. And I think it's sort of because I think I have a lot of empathy, I attracted people that don't have a lot of empathy. It's because it's sort of like a yin yang. It's sort of an attraction that people think what they're lacking they will find in the other. And empathetic people they just live to help other people. So I just wanted to, if you know anyone, if you suspect is in a difficult relationship, please reach out to them. If there's a neighbor or a friend that you think might be at risk, reach out to them. And if you feel like you're not safe, please talk to someone. Talk to someone. And if there's a gun in the house, definitely, if you can ask your partner not to bring a gun in the house, or what could have been possible is to have this police officer, or whoever works with guns, place it in a safe and lock it so it's not in excess. You can't get access to that. But this is not the first case of a police officer shooting their partner. Of course, it's not that common, but I think it's time for the police also to do workshops. And I think it's time for the men's side to do workshops for men about anger management, and not just 6 times like Janelle's husband who shot the dog, but at least 1 year, at the very, very least, once a week meeting and it has to be supervised, and it has to be controlled by some sort of person. Um, I think a minimum commitment of a year. 6 times is nothing, absolutely nothing. So may she rest in peace, and I hope that this talk helped somebody. Peace and love.